Hi, my name is Lawrence May. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I did all my education in Boston. I went to Harvard College, where I majored in economics, and then Harvard Medical School and residency at Mass General. And I've been in practice for over 35 years, and I'm delighted to be here to talk about a product that I've really come to love, and that's AlgaeCal.
My name is Dr. Joe Pizzorno. I've been a leader in integrative functional natural medicine now for almost half a century. First as a researcher, then as a student in naturopathic medicine, then as a doctor of naturopathic medicine, and then as the founder of Bastyr University, the first accredited university of natural medicine ever in North America. I'm also the Editor-in-chief of Integrative Medicine, a clinician's journal, the most widely used journal in the field of integrative medicine, which is also indexed on PubMed.
So went to the Air Force Academy, finished my master's degree, and then from there I came down to San Antonio and spent a lot of time in equal opportunity and drug abuse programs and so on for the Air Force. And then got out of the Air Force, and then my first love was always research. Then I got into developing an independent research organization and been doing that for the last 40 years.
So I had, up until a few years ago, had never heard of AlgaeCal, and actually stumbled across it kind of in an unusual manner, and that is my wife Laura Pizzorno is a very serious researcher and teacher on bone health. And she was looking for products that had good quality calcium. She discovered AlgaeCal and became quite intrigued by it. And as a matter of fact, when she started taking it, her bone density got better. So I didn't know anything about it, but I decided to first off take a look at the product that was being sold, and I looked at it and said, wow, this person has a really good formulator. They must have an advanced nutrition degree, because when I looked at the formula for bone health, kind of everything I would have done was already in the formula. So I was quite impressed. They're really doing it right. Like virtually every other chronic disease, osteoporosis is not only preventable, but reversible. And I can say that with great confidence because I've seen it happen. We'll have a dozen MDs come up to Laura and say, with my patients now who have osteoporosis, all I do is give them your book now, because they all get their bones back when they follow your book. And what's in her book? Her book is exercise, vitamin D, AlgaeCal, other things as well, but that's what it comes down to. You gotta get exercise, you gotta get the vitamin D, you gotta get the calcium and the trace minerals.
Guess what the first question people ask when they call about this study? Universally, almost the first question, it's, hey doc, is this really true? But I understand the hype out there, I understand all the advertising and so forth, but we counter that by number one is, would I recommend it? Let's don't talk about would I, let's talk about have I over the years, and the answer is numerous times. So, would I put my daughters on it? Would I? I have. So sure. Yeah, would I put my wife on it? What do you mean, would I? Have I? Is more direct? Yeah. Now, I mean, I can't get any more personal in telling you what I believe in the efficacy of the product than that.
Well, I'm not a fan of any single vitamin. Even good vitamins, patients take vitamin D because they know that's good. They take a B complex because we know B vitamins create energy. All of these vitamins are best taken as part of an entirety and taken with food. So taking calcium alone, calcium and magnesium, that's never enough. And the notion that you don't have to have basically ingredients, minerals added one at a time, but you get a source that's primarily calcium, secondarily it's magnesium, but also has the boron and the vanadium and many other microminerals all together, taken as you would as a food, probably better even than the foods that we have are our enriched orange juice or our enriched milk. We can get it now in a form that is a food, a superfood.
So one of the challenges when trying to improve people's health is it's easy to get distracted by, oh, there's this one nutrient that's so important. Everybody knows calcium's incredibly important for the bone, but calcium is only one of multiple nutrients, trace minerals, vitamins, etc., that are critical for building bone. So you can't just expect to take calcium and for your bone to get better. You've got to take all the nutrients the body needs to build the bone. Calcium is an important part, but it's only one part of a matrix. So while a lot of the talk about AlgaeCal is based on helping develop bone, we have to realize that the nutrients in AlgaeCal help not just bone, but other factors in the body as well. And all these nutrients have important physiological effects in the body, and without them, our bodies don't work properly.
How does this stuff differ from other calcium out there in the market? What's the difference? How come we got a positive finding here like this when apparently other reports didn't seem to get there? They didn't seem to get to that point that we got to. What we do know is this. We do know this study was unique because of its actual internal replication that it provided. I can say I have not seen anyone like that. I have not seen where they've done a study and they said, let's take two forms of this stuff. One's a little stronger than the other. I haven't seen anybody do that. What makes it different is we use the best technology we could get our hands on to measure bone density. There's no subjectivity in that.
It is better than and fairly priced for my patients. So, number one, patients who weren't taking calcium because it caused constipation or it upset their stomach or they hated the horse pill, they'd be more likely to take a nice, albeit a large capsule, but it's a nice capsule, much easier to take. Two, I'm much more comfortable having my patients eat algae rather than rocks. Three, the formulation, and I've done many dietary supplement formulations, is thoughtful. It includes things that are not available in very many products like vitamin K2. More importantly, the MK7 version of it has more than enough vitamin D.
So when I'm taking care of patients with osteoporosis, for example, I always look at how much calcium they're consuming. I'm always looking at how well their diet is in providing them trace minerals. And most people, they're low in calcium, they're low in trace minerals. Some people supplement with calcium, virtually nobody supplements with trace minerals. So an easy way for me to help these people is to suggest, take a product that has AlgaeCal in it, because the AlgaeCal has calcium and all the trace minerals. So we get a good, solid baseline of nutrition necessary for the bones to function the way they're supposed to.
Well, AlgaeCal is a unique formulation. I don't think you can find anything like it. So as an economic discussion, you could not buy the vitamin K2 and add it to your generic commodity calcium.
So then the notion is, what contribution am I making as a researcher over and above contributing to the body of science? And you think, God, it'd be nice to be able to help people. It'd be nice to make a difference somewhere. So in my religion, God turns to me and said, okay, Mr. Researcher, here's where you can make a difference. You found it works. Go out now and tell people about it and save the agony of bones breaking. And you start improving bone density. And if you can do it earlier in life, boy, you have made a major contribution to that person. If you don't think so, you really ought to talk to someone who has had a hip fracture or had any kind of difficulties because of osteoporosis. If you could do something to alter that experience and save some portion of the billions of dollars we spend in the healthcare industry today just on treating osteoporosis, that reward is tremendous. That reward is really significant. We're not asking you to go out and get a part of your body removed or surgery or anything else. We're asking you to take some capsules, for crying out loud. And the data are there. It shows that if you do it. So I know it sounds kind of Pollyanna, but after decades of failure after failure in some of these studies that we do, to get the successful one and know that there's a possibility of making a contribution over here. To be able to leave the earth and say, okay, God, you gave me a chance. You gave me a chance to make a difference, and I took it.